Michael wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
Alrighty then. So, as always on Tuesday, we're getting cheated on by Mitch, but that's okay. I don't care anymore because we have both Steve here and we have Kevin. So, who needs them, right? How are you guys doing so far today? It's a pretty active morning. I've just been going through things. We got a bunch of numbers, I guess, and do you know me? I have no idea what they said. The market likes it, so I like it too. That's a big spike off. We can actually just pop in here right away. But yeah, so this is the initial reaction. Huge pop there, and then we've just been holding strong ever since. So they like it, I like it. Question is, and we talked about this a lot yesterday, is we've got a pretty huge level of resistance up here at this kind of 6,400 or so on the SP 500. Need to get through that before I get too excited with anything.
Right. Yeah. Steve and I were talking about a little bit before we went live, and it looks about neutral. But the market's pretty happy about that. So maybe they were thinking it was going to be worse, than it was. That's why we're getting that initial reaction.
That's the main reason that I don't. I just stopped. Like even
Yeah.
knowing what they do is because you get bad news or bad number and the thing rips because it means that the Fed gets to cut, or it means that blah blah. Like there's always a narrative and a story for why it goes, and actually brings. I love the story of Ralph Alcampora, who created the CMT, and he had to argue in front of Congress to get it kind of on the same level as like the CFA and recognize for some banking stuff and whatever. And they said, "Oh, chart stuff, it's right voodoo, everything that you've heard before." And one of his arguments was he, brought a report of one of these numbers that was revised like 7 times. And then he brought a chart of Apple. He's like, you know what they're never going to revise? The closing price of Apple on this day. It will always be that. We know this data point and we can be sure, but when it comes to CPI, didn't they fired someone because they didn't like that it got revised 17 ways from Sunday? So yeah, I don't know personally.
There's always nuances. Yeah. And it's some people call fundamentals fundamentals too.
Well, I just love that I'm among like-minded individuals here because there's so much more subjectivity to
Right.
inferring narratives when the technicals are just that. It's so much easier to read a chart for me, so I try to stay in my lane, and I don't know, for me it works better, so I keep it simple in that regard.
Well, and it's funny because I've tried to run models and data and everything, incorporating fundamental data because why not? But the problem I always came is that it gets revised, so you end up coming up with a model, and the model says, okay, the unemployment is getting stronger, and the inflation's going higher, and whatever it is you want to do, and then you do something based on that model. And then they change the numbers next month, and then they change the numbers next, and it's like, so why? It's the whole garbage in, garbage out scenario where if the data that I'm getting is kind of useless, it might look great after the fact, but then you've already gotten 17 revisions after the fact, so you weren't able to kind of act on that data in real time when it matters at all, right?
Absolutely. Steve, I don't know, you might have missed it last week. I was like, Mitch, you guys are more fundamental traders, right? It was kind of
Oh,
funny. I was like, and then apparently
I took
there's this whole
great
thing
offense.
with my that was more so
Great.
directed at Mitch. But yeah, I noticed there was something going on there. I'm like, well, you know what? I didn't mean to direct that at Michael. I know, he's more systematic with your approach. Been doing a lot of homework with what you've been doing, and I know you've said you take like maybe one discretionary trade a day. So what stars have to align for you to put yourself in the midst of taking a trade versus the buy?
I kind of force it, right? It's like I kind of have to, and it's something that, because again, I started as a discretionary trader. I've been a discretionary trader for years, and what I find is if I get too into the weeds of just numbers and everything, you
I know where
kind
this
of
is going.
lose that connection to the market.
Ego.
Mhm.
Plus, the idea is too, I'm always the thing with a systematic trader is as soon as the whole process is systematized, the robot enters, robot exits, all that's kind of taken care of. There is a real danger of just resting at that point. And the problem is, like we all know, is that there's no system that works all the time, and there's no system that will continue to work forever. It's always funny. I like to read a lot of Larry Williams' old books. He came up with some great strategies that are just dead now, right? These were, very great strategies in the 70s and 80s when he was trading them. He made millions of dollars doing it. And then you backtest those strategies now, and they're just kind of complete garbage because the market just adapts and changes over time. So part of it is just to kind of force myself kind of into the trenches to make sure that I'm not losing. It's the same reason I have this list of like 250 different ETFs and indices, and I go through this every night, every week, every month. Even though when it comes down to it tomorrow, I'm just going to do whatever the robot says, and part of that is because, right, if I end up getting two in there, I just kind of get lost with everything. So I want to keep that kind of human connection to the market because if I see something and ends up being a good trade and I make this trade discretionarily frequently, then it creates a whole new workflow of, okay, well, how do I backtest it? How do I systematize it? How do I get a robot to do it for me?
Yeah, I love that because I said something yesterday that the green team kind of attached to is like, do we want to feed our egos or feed our accounts? And as traders, I know we love to trade, but that can be problematic, right? And especially like early on when you're adding indicators and you're trying to find that holy grail, like the ego does get involved, and you don't. It's hard to take that L because of like some of these fears. I know, Steve, that you did your webinar on like the fear of being wrong and fear of missing out, fear of losing money. These fears that I don't know, they paralyze you. Get that paralysis by analysis. But with the systematic trading, it eliminates us from the picture, which is great. But I mean, it's not fun in some aspects if
Well,
you enjoy the trading. But do you enjoy trading or do you enjoy making money?
well, that's
Absolutely.
the thing is I hate trading. The act of it, I just don't like, and that's actually one of the things that drew me to it is that,
I hate
discovering what parts you like. I like coming up with the ideas. I like the chart work. I like the strategy behind it. The actual hitting of the buttons in order to buy something and sell something, and carrying the weight of whether I'm right or wrong. Those
Mhm.
type of things, I just don't like it. So it's like,
Mhm.
okay, well, why do it? Why not just let someone else do it?
Man, the
Ex-
more I hear you talk about completely systemized trading, the more I figure that's where I'm going to end up because I'm more in alignment with you. Honestly, trading is stressful. I enjoy it most times, but it's probably my least favorite aspect of this. Like you're saying, the charting for me is so much more rewarding seeing a thesis play out than the actual execution. So I mean, so many good things to be said for that. Just staying out of your own way, not getting stressed when you don't need to, really saves the
Mhm.
mental capital.
Well, and it's funny. I haven't run this by Mitch yet, but I'm going to do it. Is he's come up with this kind of undercut and rally strategy we've been talking about back and forth on the show for a while. I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up another eval account personally, and then take the list that he gives me every day and put it into this system that we built. And it's
Mm.
fine. He can't touch it. He's not allowed to do anything. He just feeds. He does his nighttime work. He feeds the symbols that he thinks could trigger. I pop it in. He doesn't even get to see it, and I won't even show it to him until the end of the stream, whether he's up or down money. And I'm willing to bet over time that will convince him because I'm willing to bet over time it might not make more money overall than he's doing, but it will be way less effort and way less work. And then I think he'll kind of see oh, well, I didn't even know that it did this, and I didn't even know it did that kind of thing. And
Right.
then we end up getting to a point where I'm like, okay, so right, why don't you just do it yourself? Because yeah, there's very much I always equate it to kind of self-driving cars. If you guys have ever been one, you intellectually know that it's probably better at you than driving already, but there's that fear of giving it control and of letting go and of taking your hands off the wheel. And like a self-driving car, we're not abandoning it entirely, right? If it looks like it's going to do something incredibly stupid, you're there and hopefully you're paying attention. You got your hands on the wheel and your foot on the brake and all that, and you're jumping in when the time occurs. But it's kind of the same thing where I think just getting people over that hump a couple times of right, it's better than you. That helps out pretty dramatically.
Yeah, I watched this video the other day. It was like comparing Teslas and Waymo, and Tesla still has somebody like essentially there. Yeah, for I guess safety precautions, so they're not entirely trusting their system yet completely either. But maybe it's like flying planes too. It's like, I have some pilot friends, and for the most part, I don't want to ruffle any feathers, any pilots in here, but there's, I mean, there's, they certainly could remove the pilots, but I think it would cause too much concern with the people in the back seat. But I get what you're saying, like just throwing this thing on autopilot and letting her rip, Tater Chip, with with the trades.
Yeah, it's and then where I talk about this all the time too. It's where do you want to systematize, right? In what parts? You don't necessarily have to systematize everything. You could just systematize, like for example, what I'm going to do with Mitch is it's going to be the entries and the exits, and then he's going to decide the symbols to put on it. And I have some strategies that work just like that, where I'm picking, and that's what I'm doing now with some of these like BBAI. This is that VWAP to VWAP strategy I've been talking so much about. So I added that to the list manually this morning. And if it ends up breaking back through VWAP, I'll buy some and it will target the 2-day VWAP and all that kind of stuff. But that's not fully systematized because, and I can't fully backtest it because at the end of the day, I'm picking the symbols for it. I'm just saying, if these scenarios occur, take the trade. And then here's your stop loss, here's your profit target, all that kind of stuff. And if these things don't occur, don't do anything. And now I don't need to watch it. I don't need to have it up on a screen. I don't need to do whatever. It will just come into my blotter when the time comes and I can manage it. So a lot of people will do that. Well, they'll do the entries and the stop loss and the position sizing and all that stuff automatically. And then maybe they just manage the trade. Maybe they see that, this thing ripped like $1 in a minute. And they're like, well, that's too overextended, so I'm going to take the profit. But they, use their feel. Or, for example, say the market was tanking and this thing was ripping. They're like, okay, well, maybe I'm not going to exit it where I should. Maybe I'm going to leave this one go because it's relatively strong. Or using that kind of intraday intuition in different places. And then, because we know that every decision you make, it takes a toll. There's a process every day, and you get decision fatigue. You actually get mentally exhausted the more decisions you make. It's the famous thing with Jobs, right? The reason he wore the same thing every day and he ate the same thing every day, and because his belief was that the more useless decisions I have in my life, the less I kind of have stored up here for what I believe is the impactful stuff.
Can it scale positions? Can you set it in that? Or is it mainly single entries?
No, you could. It's, okay. The more complicated you get, the more I would be really sitting here and making sure that it's doing what you want. Because the more you kind of go down that complication route, the harder everything becomes. What I would generally do is start with something simple. And then maybe even if it gets into your blotter automatically with a stop loss and whatever, then you can kind of trade around that position yourself. And then add each individual part kind of slowly over time. But anything you can code into TradingView, you can do right into the bot, because all it's doing is it's taking the output of an indicator and it's sending an order. So when there's a green arrow on this chart, it's just going to send a command to my Trade the Pool account and say, buy it, put your stop at the low of the day, risk, I don't know, I think at $150 or something, go. And anything that you could in theory think of to do it, you could do it in that exact way.
Genie in a bottle. Money man in the house.
How's your real friends over there, huh?
Well, real friends. I mean, we all friends, baby. Everybody's a friend, baby.
Do you did you take Big B Big Bear AI short with your entire account last night before earnings. That's
I didn't
nothing
do
to fall
that one,
there.
but I did do BMNR and ETHU
Oh,
into the
Yeah,
close.
high volatility BMNR this morning.
Yeah, you got to close it. Got to close it when before the CPI report. I mean,
yeah.
that's what made sense. I literally said that in
Oh
another chat. I
man.
was like, if you don't close this, you're just waiting for CPI to come rip your face off, and then it just became it ripped your face off, and then everyone in the chat was like, "Damn, Mitch knew."
Yeah, that Ethereum, that's now, I'd say that's official breakout at
But the
this
fun
stage.
part was look at the close action yesterday. Guys, I made a max limit trade on this for the swing account. You know what I mean? Like I'm
That's
pushing myself on the swing account really close to reaching the eval, the 10 grand one, and this closed ugly. But you
yeah.
got to be able to hold on too. Like the Bulls, I'm sure were wanting to let go towards that closing action, right? And then that's the key, though. You have to, well, like especially for like this ETHU, it trades wide. So if you're not wide enough, if your stop's somewhere in the middle, what we call like the pig zone, yeah, you're gonna get washed. You're gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah, leverage
Is it
leverage crypto will do
yeah.
that for sure.
Yeah,
kind of like we talked about last week with the stops? Putting them outside that normal
yeah,
range.
yeah.
Yeah.
If your stop is in the middle of the chart, literally the middle of the chart, you're like you're sitting duck, and so you have to understand that you can take those positions. Don't get me wrong. I know why you're taking them because they're on the breakout, right? So you put your stop in the middle of the chart, but understanding that if it does come back to there, it can go lower than there because that's not the support. Your stop is not the support. You know what I mean? This actual support is where there's going to be some slowing down, and so it can wash through that level. And so you got to be careful with those moments. I think that's more of your scalpers. So you have to be even tighter. So forget the middle, just pull it up to the resistance probably, and then push on that, right? But hey, just talking about that because I feel like a lot of traders, sometimes they look back at their charts. And this is the difference between, I think, of having a plan strategy and actually executing that plan, right? Because we can all say that we want to risk off support, but are you actually risking on the support, right? Are you actually risking below it? Do you see that's where you get stopped out on the chart, right? Because then you can go back and then be like, yeah, my strategy is matching my execution. This is the one thing that Michael tries to get around immediately with trading systems, and that's why I always like to bring that in, right? The different side of it, right? And that's why it's great to have Michael here, right? But I think like that is the difference there, right? Is how do you actually execute your strategy versus what you're intending to happen, right? The actual results.
Well, and I would say if there's a big difference in that, that's everything. 'Cause the way I look at it is there's kind of three parts to this chain. Is it's your strategy, and then your execution, and then the result. And if there's something broken along that chain, problem is most people don't even know where that is, right? They'll say things like, the famous systematic thing is, there's a meme in the systematic community that's like, oh, someone says, oh, emotions are getting in problem, or a problem with my trading. Meanwhile, the EV on their trades is negative, right? If you just systematize their trading, you would lose a bunch of money. So some people don't know if it's their system that loses money, or their system could do great, and then that execution part doesn't lose money. So that's why when you're reviewing your trades at the end of the day, it should not be, did you make money or lose money? It should be, right, is my system profitable? Do I have some way to prove that in back test or in reality of trading it for a long time or whatever it is? And then did I execute that system well? Which is why I always talk about, at the end of the day, I always do a reconciliation. I pull, this is my trades for the day, and this is what the back test just said should have happened. And like we talked about yesterday, when I ran the back test, I should have made a bunch of money yesterday, but we talked about how I was oversized, so I actually ended up hitting a max stop before I went in. So that can change everything, where I go, okay, well, I would have made money yesterday if I had been trading smaller. So I went through this morning and I just reduced the risk on all my trades.
And that's what it's about, guys. Finding those slight tips, those slight edges, and understanding what's the difference there, right? Because a lot of beginner traders, they struggle with this. I think, they find a strategy that they found online, and they say that I should get this much to this much, and then when they look at the results, it's completely trashed on. And then it's realizing there's two questions always: is it error on system or error on execution, right? And so you can
Usually the
still,
latter.
yeah, it's usually you that you got to get a little bit better if you're going to trade that system. Another thing is you might find out that that system's too fast for you to be subjectively hitting the button and getting in and out, right? Maybe that's just too fast. So you find strategies that slow down. This is why I think a lot of traders end up where Michael and I love, which is more the swing game, where it's like, just it just feels a lot less pressure. One thing that you realize, if I'm going to be doing this for 20 years, can I handle the pressure of my strategy for 20 years? Because there's some strategies that I can tell you right now, you probably are trading them right now in the chat. And yeah, I'm talking about you right there, right there. Yeah, those strategies, they're going to get you gray hairs really quickly,
Ooh,
man.
heart attack incoming.
And you know what I mean? And we all don't want them gray hairs. But let's get to the market. Let's talk some trade ideas. I just wanted to quickly tap that because I think it's so vital. And that's what we're here for the most, right, is the beginner trader. If you're an advanced trader, the door's open. We can put 5 windows here. So, hey, come on to the show if you guys think you're in that advanced stage. The door's always open for you, just like it is for everyone out there. I wish you guys the best of luck. How everything doing out there? Hope everybody's doing great. Rando included. All you guys out there, let's keep things going. It's good to see you guys.
Rando's doing well because BMNR is ripping. So Rando's mom is doing just fine.
Right? Got through an offering and it's still going higher. Well, let's get to the charts. So we got 4 charts. Everyone's sharing. I'll put my share screen too up in just a second, but everybody is ready to rock and roll. Let's go to one trade idea today for the open. I'm going to start it off with Steve. I'm going straight fastball. Steve, what's up, man? What you got for me, Steve? One trade idea.
Tesla, it already kind of popped. I'm going to be watching. I kind of want to dip to VWAP. I'd kind of like a dip to VWAP. I like what it's doing. I'm in this as a swing already from the break from yesterday's highs. I think it's a nice pennant. I think it's got a lot of room, but I really want to see what it does at VWAP. So when a trade jumps up on me like this already, I'm always a little hesitant about be too willing to believe the move will be higher immediately, but it's generally a good side. So I'm keeping a lookout for a little dip and a rip on this guy.
A dip and a rip on Tesla. We'll take a look at that one. Kevin, fastball coming. What you got for me, my friend?
Ooh, all right, just one.
Hold on. Let me fix this. So we gotta edit this here right quick. Money Mitch adjustment on the fly. Let's get this going. Where's Kevin?
Just pop over to me in the meantime. Someone was asking about the Fed rate. Hopefully that doesn't mess you up. I'll grab that. So
He's up. Oh, there you go. You got it.
The Polymarket Fed thing here because again, TrendSpider, it's got access to Polymarket. You can chart it, and you can see right after the earnings announcement today, it was a pop up in 2 basis point cuts and a pop up in 3 basis point cuts. So based off what they saw today in the CPI number, there's a lot more bets, right? You can see that 3 basis points increased, 1 basis point decreased, 0 very much decreased. So people are betting after CPI today way more that there's going to be a interest rate cut at some point this year, 2 basis or 3 basis point cuts. So,
all right, now coming back to you, Kevin. Here, it should be fixed. I'll bring you up.
All right, here we
go.
Working a hangover setup, TLS. I'm involved here, slower here. You see in pre-market, but we had a nice ramp yesterday. Throughout the entire day, this was on earnings. So the stop is real defined. Previous close, which is 387, or you could do the high a day, 390s. Looking for some profit taking when some of these traders, they're buying the previous day and the stock is gapping down slightly on light volume. A lot of these guys profit take when they don't see the continuation on the momentum coming through. So this is one of many. I'll give you one though.
All right, that's what it's all about. We'll have tons to talk about during the show. We got you guys. We'll be taking a look at some trades. I'll give you a sneak peek. I'm not even going to take the SoFi one. I'm going to go back to the swing. I'll talk about QS, guys. Watching to see if this can rip again, guys. I have the swing from yesterday. I talked about this. I actually added to the position towards the close, looking to see if we can make a rip towards 10 and 11 today. If we can get up to 10, I'll probably just sell it at 10. I won't probably make it to 11, but that's the look, right? I'm not going to have that actual profit just because I'm trying to take the profits beforehand, but we'll see if we can get a lift right out the gates. Another thing to just be careful about that I will say about the CPI, did we already get the top of the day in the morning? Sometimes this happens on CPI where we get the rip and then we can't even get back up to that level. So for me, it's really quickly looking to see if we can get back to 640s. All right, let's get towards, of course, Michael, we can take a look into maybe a heat map action, take a look at what's going on that side of things to see if there's anything that's standing out. The fart is telling us to risk off today. Is this risk
I was
off
about
on
to say,
fart?
well, you caught me. I'm over here buying more.
Uh-oh.
In the buy zone.
Uh-oh.
I got my Kraken account up. Look at this, right at support. Right, last time we were right here, I got a bid. I got out at resistance at right. I think I had 140, 1.4. We're back down here again, so I'm taking that money I took out when we were up high, and I'm buying it back in. So I'm trading around this thing. I still think 420 is on the table because, of course, it is. But what I'm looking at for
420 is
just
always on the table.
I'm watching BBAI. I think for my main trade is just this got smacked so hard, and where it is on the daily chart's interesting. It's right back to this breakout it had around this $4 or $5. So for a little short term trade there. But if we're looking at the heat map here, well, you can see you can see MSOS absolutely ripping. This will update when
Did
the
you
market
sell it
opens,
yet?
but that was not yet. I'm
You itching? You itching to sell?
well, I'm so for those just to catch people up, I'm in MSOX
X.
just because
The
why
real
not
the real
the
degenerate.
real degen? From around here, kind of when we broke out in this area and kind of the threes. So, or sorry, I think the fours. I think is my actual
This is the way to
average.
do it, though. If you're gonna trade this, I'll tell you right now, guys. This is the way to do it. When they actually opened this, I actually told Dan, I was like, "Yeah, now you're being smart, Dan.
Yeah.
This is a smart vehicle because at the end of the day, you trade these for quick trades, and so
Yeah,
now
like
you're in
this
the
is
green. You ain't gonna lose on this. What are you thinking on profits, man? What are you looking at?
well, I'm kind of looking at this. We're both there now, but if you're looking at sorry, you always do your analysis on the main chart. So I'm seeing this kind of $8 zone. So I'm watching obviously MSOS, and then I'm trading MSOX. If we got back to this range, you could even just take this and just highlight this kind of whole zone here, right? If we started to get into that zone, which we're very close to, that's where I'm going to start taking things out. But yeah, it's just what I'm waiting for kind of from the news front is that it's pretty much a sure thing at this point that he's going to declassify or deschedule or whatever the word is. So I think
Reschedule. I got you.
reschedule. So yeah, I'm thinking that's going to be a massive sell the news event.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to
Oh,
do
yeah.
is when that thing comes out, I'm just going to watch real close, right? And if you get like that initial spike of everyone kind of YOLOing in, I'll be the one selling into that. But it's to the
Nice.
point where, I'm like over double on this. So I kind of want to just keep some. The bad part about trading the leverage ETF, it's like we talk about is these things degrade over time. So like
Oh, yeah.
keeping a piece for the long haul is not really an option. So if I do, it will be just super, super tiny. But it's been a great trade, and I've been talking about it, and I kind of pleading to chat here is
What about the split price? Split price was right around 15.
Oh,
Split price
Yeah.
1 for 20, the recent split price. So you get back to the recent split price, which is also pretty in line with the 200 EMA, which is 1430s. So 1430s, 15s, my just like estimated outlook, but that still leaves you a little room to get some gains there. That's what, another 42%?
Yeah,
yeah. I think
So somewhere between there. I
Two,
think you got to find.
3, 2, 1. Let's get the party started, guys.
Let's go, Kevin. I know you're a little
Ding, ding,
faster. You
ding.
let us know if you're in a trade. Guys that are in a trade, you guys run the show, all
I'll
right?
be,
So if you're in a trade, take the wheels. Also, if we're just talking overall market, Michael and I can kind of lead in that sense. But don't feel shy to take the wheel if you're in a trade. That's what we're here for anyways. Looking at QS to see what happens on that. Of course, I got that swing right out the gates here. And at the open, you got to be ready. Because if not, you can get dumped on. SoFi, another one that I'm watching for the day trade action. We'll see what happens on those types of names. And then I want to see if we struggle today, if OKLO can hold on. Because something tells me that those nuclear names are going to be shorts real quick.
I'm keeping an eye on that one as well. I'm also watching Tesla here. It's dancing on that VWAP with that dip that I was looking for. I want to see a reclaim
Tesla.
here, and I might take a little position. Starting to look good.
Yeah, Tesla's a hard one today. I'm looking at shorts for those nuclear names. SoFi kind of hanging in there, already getting a push there to 2290s. I like SoFi today. That's strong out the gates here. I even like it on
ONDS,
the
little
swing.
morning spike. Watching it at 420. ONDS.
Okay. Keeping an eye. I did take Tesla at 343.40 there on the way when it came back up through VWAP. So I wanted to see it flush VWAP and then come back over it. It's looking like it's starting to work now. My first target is 346, which is pre-market highs. I can pull that up on my chart too if anybody follows this trade. It did just yeehaw me though. I'm back to a little bit red. So my stop is going to be under the pre-market highs there at 341.30. Looks like a fast trade there. We'll see how it goes.
Whew. QS right back down also. So it went up and then right back down. That's the key about the opening trades. You got to be careful there.
I'm starting to get a feel like you might have been onto something, Mitch, with that high of the day and pre-market there. So I'm going to keep an eye on there. I want to obviously watch the spike open, that price at 638.69 or so. Until we reclaim that, it's looking like it wants to eat down into that gap up.
And QS holding on a little bit on that pullback, but I'm not going to risk too much here because if I need to get out, I got to get out, right? Like one of the things is I'm close on the E-valve, can't take the big hit right now. Got to be smart because I'm sized in here. So it's okay to get the worst thing to hear as a trader. It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah. So the SPY is doing absolutely nothing. So just, tailor expectations there. We kind of came back to VWAP and we've just been consolidating at VWAP. So this feels like it might be one of those opening range break plays to happen.
ONDS taking half off, guys. 420's holding up.
Long a little bit of SoFi, going to add on a pullback here, but just grabbed a little bit there, 200 at 23s. The thing is, it could just run on this 23s, go real fast here. SoFi chart, it's just been prime. But Kevin, take over. What you got there? ONDS?
ONDS, yeah. Straight up to the magic 420s. We're getting an upper wick up there. This one has already been spiking up towards resistance on the daily. So we like to pull up the daily here and see if we look left to predict right. It's what I do. So a lot of resistance up there. I try to give it like over, under, a little bit of wiggle room. But what I've been doing here lately is giving these tickers about $100 risk with the eval I've been working. I tried to size up a little bit this past week and it backfired on me. Like I mentioned to you guys, I think the first stream, I go for these $100 days. So one eval I hit this morning, $100. I'm working another one right now. I got to keep like that $100 for me. There's hardly any emotion. So I try to size up, but the sizing is the emotional dial, for the accounts. And so I can think way clearer, going for these $100 days. And so that's why I'm working that again, sizing up for me. The emotional dial, it got increased. And so you got to be just mindful of that in the trades. I think too, when I size up, there's more ego involved. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And plus these 20, like I'm on a 25K eval, and really you should treat it almost like $1,000 account, right? Nearly. So because of the drawdown and the max loss on it.
QS looking really good there, guys. Starting to take off there back towards 925. So at least looking good on that swing. I'm not going to let it go back through the stop there of my break even. So at this point, just looking for it to start taking off through the 930s. If it can get to 950s, we're looking really good here. This itself could get me really close on the account. So I'm trying to hang in here. This could be the trade. Sometimes you're one trade away. I'm set in here, not going to lose, but I'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
Love that. Definitely. And I also love the $100 a day
Looking
target.
good.
Just
Okay.
the reasonable targets, I think it's such a great way to look at it. Like you said, you don't get emotionally attached. And if you hit
Right.
those, I mean, you're still going to pass really quick. You know, that
Yeah.
you'll pass with half the time left.
I know. I have a problem with sometimes tunneling in like how did this one day look versus bigger picture. Like for me, it's aggravating walking away with $100, but I got to look at the bigger picture and think like, would I rather $2,000 days? It's $2,000 a month, and that's reasonable. That's reasonable approach.
That's
Well,
great.
and if you can do that, right, there's a
Yeah,
$200,000 account, right? So,
Right.
that's how I always look at it and say, okay, what am I
more
making
zeros.
on the account, right? And you just add a zero to it as time goes on.
Stops high
Scalp
day
here on
OMDS
SoFi.
for me.
Good scalp here on SoFi. Look at SoFi. Look at SoFi go. Let's go, baby. Let's make that $100.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah, SPY's pushing nicely. I want to see it clear those pre-market highs. So that 640 handle, that's the big number for me to watch.
Riding SoFi, got the stop right underneath it here, guys. So I'm just climbing it up here. I'll let you guys even in on it. Look, watch. Boom. You guys see the stop right there. Look how it's just climbing up. I'm just riding it away because it's going to do a 9 EMA pullback at some point. So I'm just climbing it with the action. It pushed up a little bit. Boom. It collects me. Nice. It can keep going, but I mean, it was a good scalp. Look, boom, 200, 2309s,
Nice.
risking 23, rips to 35 there. I'll sell it. I'm looking to grab it again, but I need a VWAP pullback. I want to actually get it below 23s now. We'll see what happens on that. SoFi, talked about this on Trader TV, that this was one of the names to watch for. A nice opening move. Boom, right there, opening move, SoFi.
Great call, man. Great call.
And QS, right?
Excellent.
So good trades there, guys. Looking good on the swing account.
Money
also.
Mitch.
Let's go, man. The name doesn't
Taking
lie,
that money. Manifest.
I didn't give the name at least.
Who gave it to you?
I used to always get like this on Mondays. They would be like throwing up nothing but M words in this other channel, Beginner Trading, that I used to be on. It'd be like money, Monday, Mitch, money. They'd be just playing with me, man. So it eventually just caught on. And I was like, all right,
sticks. Yeah.
Let's go. QS, Money Mitch as we talk. Let's go. Let's get it, guys. You know what that is. Sound that horn. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Isn't quite there. It's sweating. I think I needed to settle a little bit more.
One of the things too is this is very important, guys. So I'm gonna, as this breaks out on QS, I'm also gonna raise the stop if it can break towards like the 950s, because at the end of the day, what am I trying to do? Get an E valve, right? So it's more important not to make this be the huge, Twitter run, but more along just make some money, right? So that's what I'm watching for. Really going to look for a run to the 8-8 day, which is this 960 on this first drive. Can we get there? That's going to be very important. Coming to you, Steve. What you got, man?
Let's see. What do I have? I'm just watching Tesla here. Oh, wait. Wrong screen. Let's pull it up on this one. There we go. So I'm watching Tesla here. It's playing with me. I thought it was going to hold VWAP in my kind of immediate momentum trigger. Looks like it wants to flush out. I think the mistake I made is that I really like this on the higher time frame. So I think I got a little too married with a kind of day 2 extension breakout immediately. On a higher time frame, it would be totally fine if it needs to flag out and consolidate somewhere here around this volume profile here. So I'm keeping an eye on this level, see if it can hold right around that 340, 341 area. But for the scalp, that's a 0 for this one. Entered.
All right, guys.
About to get stopped.
Just want to mention the leading sectors: communication, financial services, cyclical, and everything green on the screen. Green on the screen all around, guys. SoFi taking the high there, and I just want to mention that Verizon and T-Mobile even lifting. I told you guys about that T-Mobile chart. It's not the chart that you thought would move, but it's ripping too. There's SoFi through even my level. The strength is there, guys. Small pullback, continuing the strength around on the market, leading my watch list. I got Archer doing well, APLD, FLNC recovering today.
I called you a genie in a bottle
SoFi,
when you jumped in here. There was a reason for that.
Tempest, Rail going higher, Bull. There's a lot of names going higher. Hood. There's not many on the downside. Downside to look is like a Pony or an S-Bet doing pretty bad on the pullback. But hey, coming back to you, Michael, what are you seeing? Any trades you've taken on the bot life?
I was in shambles. I put in my wrong address, so I had to go through and manually do everything. So that's why
Oh,
there's
no worries.
specials
It
here
happens
to
to
cover.
us.
I'm watching, the SPY getting close to this prior high and potentially rejecting there. And then the only trade I've taken is this step. I have no idea what this company is, but just looking for that kind of breakout continuation, potentially above 60 for a little bit of a day trade there. But other than that, just kind of watching. So I missed a lot of different trades in which it just happens, right? You fill out something wrong in the bot the night before, and then you gotta kind of catch up today. But that's fine. Hitting this zone, above this zone, we got to remember that we take a look here. Would be day 8 or 9 of not being able to break the prior day's low, which is just nuts. But this is bull market behavior, and we're close to all-time highs. I remember everyone calling for the end of the world right here on this bearish engulfing candle, saying, "Ooh, the scary bearish engulfing. You better sell everything in this bull market." And as always, right, there looks like they're going to be wrong here. And as we mentioned before, with the commitment trader data on Monday, they still haven't covered. They're still short. So we got to make sure that we're focused here on what the trend is and where the positioning is. So if you want to be a contrarian, I've been saying it for months now, you own stocks. If you want to follow the herd, you short with the rest of them. But I think we're going to if we start getting through here, we'll maybe see another one of these kind of short squeeze runs where everyone gets a little bit too overexcited and you start to see junk start to run, because if the hedge funds are short, they're going to have to cover if we move higher.
Yeah, I'm kind of split here. I could definitely see the squeeze scenario. I'm thinking the other alternative is we just keep ranging in the same range for another couple weeks, month or
Meta
two.
rip out, guys.
Just
Talked
build
about
out some support here, and then we push higher. But to me, nothing's screaming short. Things are screaming probably hedge, but don't sell.
big boys are screaming buy, it seems like, and I was looking to see if these big boys were take off today. Talked about big mega cap tech today would be the way to lead this rally higher. Look at Meta. Talked about Meta and Microsoft as being great setups. Huge rips there on these right out the gates, guys. Those are looking awesome. Meta, Microsoft, and this is a big trade. Microsoft has a triple bottom off 520. You don't see those, guys. I talked about it yesterday. Triple bottoms, man. It's like seeing double rainbows, triple rainbows here. Uh, guys, it's out there, guys. Microsoft, look at that look. I talked about this on Trader TV. I was like, this looks prime. It went right into the gap, filled the gap, right back up. Good report. Meta also prime daily chart. It can't get prettier than that, guys. It
Wow,
can't
yeah.
get prettier than that. They're making it easy. Why aren't we cashing? This is on the list, guys. Here, you guys get to see it. So sometimes, you guys probably like, this guy Mitch, he's probably lying. Look here, the actual notes.
The proof.
The notes, the mega tech big cap. Look at those names right there. These are the 5 I think are carrying the market right now. Tesla, Meta, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. Looking for those names to continue going. Momentum names, SoFi, APLD, SBET, probably the one that was a little off there. I'm bearish on those nuclear names, lithium names. You guys know how I feel about that. Gambling stocks look interesting right now. That's one thing that I'm going to take a look at. Let's see. Let's just take a look. DKNG. Was
Yeah,
watching
this is
for
the name
this
I'm
trade.
watching too.
Ooh, swing trade alert, bad boy. Let's go get it. I like this swing alert here. So I'm going to risk off that 42.50 here. We're getting that 43 undercut here. So looks good here. I like it here. I will take 100 shares there.
Oh yeah, everything's looking good here. Everything I'm going through is like, thankfully, right. This is one of those
Spy.
days I didn't
You
mess up the swing bot, so
yeah.
it's like the day
Don't mess
trading
it
bot's
up. Don't
doing
mess it
nothing,
up.
but the swing bot's doing fine. So I'm going through just some of the market here, right? We hit this, we reversed pretty hard, but I'm looking
That's
at most of the things I'm watching are still up pretty dramatically from the open.
Bitcoin getting hit. Is that getting hit there? Because I'm seeing MSTR a really quick dump on that one.
Yeah, we had something happen, and we're getting a little bit of a pullback here. So we got to watch the pre-market low. We got to watch the 2-day VWAP. 2-day VWAP sitting at 637.01. We got to see what happens there. But yeah, something. We came up to that prior high, and somebody hit a button and just said, "Get me out." So I'm going to the
Quick
streets
rip.
here, seeing if our boy Walter's got anything for us.
Ooh, big volume spike also on that. I'll say that. A million share spike off of the 1 minute there. So definitely SPY, quick down move. And what did we do? Rejected the 640 number. Your
Trump,
boy Money Mitch coming at it.
Trump considering lawsuit against Powell over Fed building costs. That's what came out. So
Who's at your door? It's good old Trump.
yeah, so we were just cranking against all-time highs, and he's just got it. Yeah, I got to sue the Fed chair because they built something.
he
All
had
right,
that one
guys.
saved for when we tapped 640.
Yeah,
Needed to buy lower.
Dude, that guy has a technical analyst on his side. Get that guy on Kathy Wood's side because she needs a technical analyst. Man. All right, guys. So that tells me watch for the Ethereum dump, man. I'm telling you, I'm looking for that Ethereum dump. I know people are just like they're starting to get like hungry in crypto. I'm starting to feel the greed coming in crypto. That's usually when it can either do the late inning rally or the dump. So I'm not saying that I'm right, but I'm definitely seeing late innings starting to show.
I think that it's really interesting that Ethereum's still this strong. I think that it needs to make all-time highs, and then I wonder if that might be a pivotal time for crypto as a whole. So that's kind of what I'm looking for next. To
well,
me, it
there's
seems too strong to not want to just push for it.
yeah, and
But
that's a lot of people forget that. I think Steve that they think Ethereum is just this monster, and they forget that it's
yeah,
not even all-time high. That's like 5K.
Mhm.
Still's got what 800 points to go, and then same with Solana, right? The other big guy. Right, this is all-time highs are way back here at 301, so it's got to double to get to all-time highs. So these things have room to go before they get anywhere crazy. And
Yeah,
then
we
I
were
think this might be
bullish on it.
Bitcoin's fate forever. I'm wondering if the whole institutional involvement that people were wanting just sucked the volatility out of this name, and you're going to have to go down chain, which is Ethereum, Solana, Ripple, all these things to get those crazy moves. And Bitcoin's just maybe a slow march higher over time, like the markets, but is done doing that kind of crazy action.
I strongly agree that it's done. It's done being the thing, the risk on high volatility asset. And I think you're dead on there. So hopefully it's just the straight easy play of just okay, it was Bitcoin, now it's Ethereum. We can see how long that lasts. But for
Mhm.
me, it doesn't really matter. Let's see what it does at all time highs, and we'll decide based on
Yeah.
what price action tells us, right?
Setup that I'm looking at right now, guys. I'm looking at a firm. I just feel like
Mm.
it's a really nice setup on the daily. It's come back to the 90 MA, caught back, right? It was doing really well up there to 80s. It did already push there towards the 79. I talked about looking towards a 78 to 79 run. We've already got there. Now I'm looking for like a 15-minute pullback towards the 75.30 area, and then back through 77 would be the breakout. Let's see if we get that type of pullback and then the move right back up higher. So 75.30s hits that, then starts working back through 77. So I can set alerts on both of those areas and then really just look for the stock to trade in between that, not stressing when it's trading in between that, right? Because I think a lot of traders, what they'll do is they'll stress right now and they'll go into 1 minute. No, you can set alerts around the areas where you're looking to see break, which is like around, I think you can go to the 90 MA, that's 75.13. I'm going to put an alert at 75.30. I'm going to put an alert at 77. So if it breaks into both directions, I'll know, but I'm also not needing to watch every single tick. Great way
Right.
to get around the tick watching, right?
Yeah, the smaller time frames create a lot more noise. But here I am on the 1 minute too with the high
Coming to you,
volatility play.
man.
Yeah.
That's how I know
So
we're
right
going to get
now
along. I always say that while staring at a 1 minute chart. It's addicting, you know.
I
Hard to
know.
shake them.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
you do? You take it off. You take it the
So,
hell off.
yeah, well, I like to distract myself by looking at other tickers. So right now I'm very small, guys. RMBL, perfect fall in the building as well. Some of the green team here are good. RMBL, this one's popping up towards the 200-day moving averages, and I try to not use so many indicators because, again, it kind of gets my ego involved. But I've seen the 200 work fairly consistently. RMBL, I start real small. I only have 50 shares right here, and I look to scale it. That's what you got to do with some of these plays. I'll give it $100 risk, this name, but I like to slow scale into the FOMO guy, the fear of missing out traders. That's probably, in my personal experience, feel free to disagree, but the most potent of the fears are a lot of the newer guys getting in these names and buying with the anticipation that they're seeing this thing not only go make a 7,500% move, but to 200% move. So right now, RMBL, I'm in that, and then the other ONDS, I have a trail here. So I had, how many shares did I have here? Like 200 or so. I took I have 75 left. I took a couple pieces off. It's popping back up. I set a trail. I do like to set trails, and this 25-cent trail, so 424, which is near the high. I'll stop out the rest on ONDS, but locked in a decent chunk there. And then RMBL, my attention's there. I'm going to slow scale it up to probably $4, just FYI.
In your area, X4 looks interesting for a breakout
Yeah.
above 2. It's holding there really well on the daily too.
Yeah. That one this morning took a piece of that in the 190s on the other eval. It worked out fairly well. That one's not a bad chart either. I do like it. Kind of double bottom off pre-market lows and then double topping. Yeah, 190s. So it's tight risk, like Money Mitch is saying. I do like those names. Especially if it's real close to that area, unless they're gonna do like that liquidity sweep, which we see when it's so close to the whole dollar. Like they oftentimes will gravitate towards those areas. And so normally sometimes I'll actually wait for it and then it never happens. And that's why I throw feelers on these sometimes. But yeah, I like that. Very clear resistance there.
Interesting space here for the market, right? So again, this yellow line, this is a 2-day VWAP. So the average price of today and yesterday, we fell off of Trump fighting with Powell again to that zone
Long
and
SoFi.
almost to the tick. And then we started to bounce, right? So you're buying SoFi. Yeah. So
Looking for a firm.
if that holds, I think you're right to be buying stuff, right? Because who really cares about news like that, right? They're just so desensitized to him at this point. I don't think these moves are. I wouldn't short just because he's got some. He woke up with a bug in his butt this morning. It's like this will all be forgotten in an hour.
Oh, I have a chart that you guys might like for a swing trade here. METC. Full screen.
You're talking my language.
Speaking some coal, I believe. I think they're a
Yeah,
coal
forget the
company.
swing. I like that on the day trade. That looks
Look at
prime.
this.
When you're done with that, take a look at my FTech.
FTE. What's the ticker?
FTEK. This is the one that my energy trader buddy's been yelling at. I've been buying since the 165s.
Wow.
And it's just put in this huge consolidation. That one candle, so that huge candle on that was earnings. It was crazy. It went down to 220 and then ripped it like from low to high. It was like a 40% move. That's showing me that there might be some institutional buying here, and it's digging in as well. So this is coal as well. Their idea is that they clean the junk that comes out of coal plants, right?
I'm long METC.
I love this. Awesome. Thank you. No, this is exactly what I'm looking for because some of the coal names, I feel like there's too much overhead volume for them to be really appealing for shorter term like momentum trades. Like I want to buy these in my longer term accounts, these AMRs and these HCCs.
Yeah, look at them in 2 years kind of thing.
Exactly, yeah. But this F Tech looks like it's got juice, and that's what I want.
Yeah,
That's what I
so
want right now.
again, really talking my book. I started buying it in kind of the 180s when that first flag happened, and then I bought a little bit in the 215s, and I'm looking to buy a little bit more on a break here. But prior high just from a couple years ago is 7, and then beyond that is like 25 or something. So the reason that my buddy emailed me this, and again, with the energy trading, like this is his world, so that's why I pay attention. He's talking a lot about how they clean coal and they clean natural gas, and he's thinking this is a data center play. Is that they're going to fire up old coal plants right next to data centers, and they're going to need to get around like EPA and whatever, and that's what these guys do. And it's a tiny little company; it's worth like $100 million. So this to double or triple or quadruple to be a $200-300 million company is not a tall ask. But
Oil stocks ripping, guys. Energy leading the market now. XOM
Yeah.
really pushing. Chevron pushing.
you know,
ConocoPhillips, really strong charts there, guys.
that's weird. Yeah, with CL down.
Strong charts for sure. DraftKings catching a little bit of some action there. If it gets back above 43.10s, I might add to my swing. QS back in the green. I let it go a couple cents red there and just held off the bottom of the 896, and it's starting to push strong. So those day traders, you might be able to ride my swing trade with QS.
The best swing trades always work out as something that's just kind of been trending intraday, and then get some sort of pop. You get some sort of kind of underlying move, and then it ends up going for the next couple days. So that's kind of the ticket there, right? But yeah, that F Tech and then PSIL is the other swing trade that I'm really watching. I'll grab the chart for this again. Talking my book here, just FYI. I own a bunch of this and some of these psychedelic companies already, but take a look at this. Where am I? Here am I. This is the Anchor VWAP from all-time high. And we broke this kind of major 16 area that was resistance a bunch. And then we've just kind of been basing right around this anchored VWAP from all-time high. So this is where the average guy is living. So if we get above that, that to me is really interesting because you could very easily see the 20s or even the 30s from here, which is it's a pretty big move. And I like these really low bases. Again, if anyone finds any, put them in chat. The thing that has been working from the swing trading side for me the best is just stocks that were priced to die and just spent like 2-3 years into a base. I always just bring up this outlet for an example, right? This thing was priced as if it was going bankrupt to de-SPAC, which a lot of them did. So you go and you find the ones that survived. That's 2 bear markets. This thing has been in this space, right? 2022, 2023, and then the 2025 bear market. So it survives 2 bear markets and then starts to break out of that base. That's like, feed me those all day, and I'll just start going in leverage buying them.
Archer back at VWAP for those traders looking for that style of trade, $9 trade there. Getting a little pullback here in METC, set about an $80 stop towards 23.90s. We'll look to see if that can hold the VWAP, which is 24.11, and then get right back up. But looking around out there, guys, trades all around out there, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, my bot
I'm
is
watching SPY at this. What is it? 636.
Just
Oh
got an
shoot!
edge.
I gotta pull my chart bigger. Where's my level? Yeah, 636.50. This is the kind of area where I'd like to see it dip into and respect, or if it loses that, then I think we could see some downside to the 632 to 631-ish range. So keeping an eye there. To me, price is not looking super constructive quite yet, but we are still holding the gap up for now.
when we hit that 2-day VWAP, right, and bounced right up to the 1-day VWAP and then failed there. So, yeah, that you would hope that would have given you a little bit more of a lift, maybe clear VWAP, maybe start basing above or something. But just to hit and kind of fail miserably, that's not something I'm too interested in.
Yeah, the SPY, dude, that 640 is acting like crazy resistance, guys.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we might not even get back there, guys. We might just start leaking from here. I think we maybe get one more trend line approach, maybe back up towards, let's see where that goes towards, like 639.50s. So let's see if we can hold 637 here and get back to 639.50s.
Well, yeah, we're sitting 8 days in a row unable to break the low of the prior day for 8 days. So at some point, that trend has to change. You have to get a low that at least challenges the low of the day before. This chart is pretty wild. Reminds me of right here, right? Now, when we finally did that, it wasn't like it was the end of the world. We just based for a while, but this was, I think, 9 days of higher lows and higher lows. And then when we broke that, it finally just kind of became a chop. And then we did the same thing kind of in through here. So again, this is very bull market behavior, but at some point you need a regular pullback or rest day or something. You can't just continue to make higher lows every single day forever. So it's due. The question just is when and does it look like this, where we do end up breaking the low of a
30-10
prior
big
candle
spike.
and just
I'm
chop,
about to get
right?
short here. Sorry to
All right.
interrupt.
Yeah,
Rumble,
Cameron.
guys. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take all of that. It's aggravating getting involved with a feeler, wanting more. I'll take the money, but you can't. It's hard for me to psychologically to scale
Licks.
into winners, on the way down. But RMBL probably. Let me see. I'm gonna take this. Just take the small profits down here at 3.
Yeah, green is green. Those add up.
Right.
Are you shorting the SPY, Steve? Is that what you're going
Yeah,
after?
small size, but it lost that little bit of market structure here. I can pull it up on my chart.
Yeah, it lost the 2-day VWAP too, which is interesting.
Yeah, I'm just seeing a weakness. We lost that previous swing low. It was a bit impulsive, but I just really saw the weakness in this candle forming as it lost these previous lows. So I got in a little early, anticipating the sweep of these lows, which we did get. Assuming this holds down, I think what we want to do is kind of heal back into this 636, 636.50 area that I was looking for. That's the first area I'm looking to just even consider taking some off. It's a small scalp, but I was getting bored here today, to be honest. I wasn't
Oh,
taking
and
any
this
trades.
this could have done it too. So right at 11, so my time, so 10 Eastern, and then also at 10:30 we got Fed Yahoo's yapping. So
Short some ETH.
Ethereum.
I'm taking a bunch of trades, guys. I got like 5 trades on right now.
Oh, he's cooking.
Here
That's
go.
always fun. It's always fun.
They're moving all around. They're moving all around. But
Share.
Keep it spicy.
Right?
As long as they're green, right?
you know I'm in a lot of trades when I don't even want to click onto the share screen. I'm like, yeah, pay
No,
attention, Mitch. Pay
I'm
attention.
doing it. I'm bringing it up.
This is the best one, the QS. That's what's looking the best. This is a firm buy. I'm really not mad at it. Really low towards 75.22s. I talked about 75.30s where I wanted to see it go. It aligned perfectly. So that's why I'm trying to stay in SoFi here and put a stop right underneath it towards the 70s. I wanted to buy underneath 23s. That's what I pretty much did now. I have an average right underneath 23s. Just got to risk off of like 22.70s. I'm
So
cool.
left is swing, right is day, or vice versa.
Yes. I did get cut out of that Ethereum right back up there. So I did take $100 cut there. I will tell you guys that one. You guys saw it disappear. But now look what happens. I'm starting to get some takeoff. METC starting to take off. That one's going to be an ad here in a second. Let's go with an ad.
I'm watching SPY. Looks like I was right when I thought that I was impulsive. Wrong to take the trade that early. I'm not very sharp today, so that's why I'm sizing down. But I do think there's a potential for a fade at 638. So if we get straight through there on volume, I will cut my losses. Otherwise, that is the area I'm looking to fade.
QS about to hit my alert there. It's moving.
Yes. ONDS trail took me out. Fades in here saying ATNF halted down. I worked that in pre-market, man. I cannot believe that thing shot straight back up to 620. Great.
Yeah, that was a
resistance
wild
right
one. I traded that this morning too. That was the
Oh.
only trade I took.
BMMR just dropping fast,
ATNF.
guys. That looks like it's starting to get hit by the offering.
I love the elevator downs being involved with them on the short side. I think
Oh,
we went
yeah.
over that last time, but yeah, it was getting a little unpredictable. So I just didn't trade it again. But pre-market felt heavy, weak, faded. So
Yeah,
So
I
there's,
was up late last night. I took this from 550 to I covered at 5, and I just stopped looking. Turned around, it was $4. Turned around again, it was 6. This thing's wild.
yeah,
Boom, guys, right there. Stop placed on METC in the green. That's a great trade. I love trading METC, man. I know that you talked about it. It's a swing vehicle, Steve, but I can tell you it's been an awesome day trade vehicle.
Oh man, I'll have to keep it on my radar. I just think of them as slow moving names, but I don't know why. I mean, Cole's
Look
kind of
at
like the
there's a
wild card.
difference though. There's a
ADN is getting
huge
close,
difference
Ed.
between
Yeah.
METC or any other coal name. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
right off the back. Look at
Okay.
the action that happens here, right?
Mm.
So a lot of times the only thing that I'll give you guys the insight on, and this is like insight to help you guys really. This is real insight. So the key here is that it loves to spread out like by 20 cents. So give yourself these like abilities to get through like a 20-cent wick through the support area. And look how this was really symmetrical. It really was up one, down one, up two, down two, up three, down three, reloads. And then look at the volume, right? They get cut out of this 24. And then what happens from there? Higher low action. When it takes, it has a tendency of ripping, right? You see it, and it moves fast. 2470. I mean, that's 40 cents in a minute or two. So don't think that it doesn't move fast. That's the one thing that I think a lot of people get twisted on this METC. So another thing is don't show your stop too much until you're in the green. And then it's okay to go like a break even on a name like this for me because it's such a fast mover, right? So since it's a fast mover, what we want to be doing is protecting ourselves, ready to get out on stops, right? So I gave myself room. I gave myself like 130 on this at first. And then once it started to clear the VWAP, I talked about VWAP hold, and then it took off through the resistance. At this point, we want this green line right there to hold. So what am I? I'm below that green line. Now that it clicks up, I can drop it back down again, right? Because even a pullback right now is 24.50. QS, nice move there, guys. Nice move on QS. It's starting
By
to
challenging VWAP here again. So perking up. Held the 2-day VWAP twice now. And
639.50s, I think, coming into play, guys. The trend line, right? The trend line approach. We held the 637. We just slightly undercut it and ripped right off of that.
Yep, I am just about to cut my loss here if this 1 minute candle can't close. Pretty bearish. Looking like I shorted the hole. The classic. One of those days.
the boredom trade.
Was it too big?
Yeah.
I think that's the key. What I've been doing more is on like the VIX there. I even got cut out on my swing account, but I only took 100 shares, right? Like if the VIX is going to move, it's going to really rip here. Look at QS. There we go. That's what I'm talking about for QS. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Good work.
Let's get it. Let's get it, guys.
Oh.
This no. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. Don't tell me.
There you go. ADN's getting close. I know a few of you are watching it. Looking at that move up towards the whole dollar. I got an order set for a short up and over 3. It's up from 2 to about 3 right now. And we've gone over the inefficiencies like this. A lot of these small caps, they do the same thing. They need capital. They come out with kind of a BS press release like we're changing companies to their Bitcoin treasury strategy company now. And they're just raising capital, and then they'll finance and dilute their shareholders. And then we see them coming out with offerings, that sort of a thing. But
isn't it?
It is. I know, dude. And that's like that's where I know some shorts this happens too. You get so over convicted, and then that's when you get in trouble. So you got to always predefine that risk before entering the trade. Because a high percentage of the time they work. As Bernadette had a 95% win rate, but make sure that 5% you know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Affirm taking off for me, guys. I like this trade a lot. I'm just trying to add, but on pullbacks, looking really well now, guys. METC up $100 there, guys. I'm gonna raise the stop. We're gonna start making sure that we cash no matter what on METC. Looking for it to run away from the 9 EMA, setting a stop at $70 in the green. This can easily run to 25. I can hold break even, but right now, especially since we don't have a SPY breakout, we just have a SPY trend line approach. I'm not going to go get too crazy here because I know if it gets in the 639 range, it can slow down and come right back down.
There's my re-entered on this
Coming to you.
BBAI.
BBAI, there you go.
BBAI. So, right, the first trade was right off the jump here, but I'm starting to be tighter on these. The target's a 2-day VWAP, but heck, I got this move kind of from. It's a 13% move in 10 minutes. So I took a little bit off, and as we started to pull back, I sold, and you can see another green arrow here. So trying again with just a stop under $5 and seeing if we can get a second shot higher, right? I love charts that kind of look like this too, where you gap down pretty heavily. And I talked about how this was an interesting area to gap down to, but then buyers just stepped in right away. And sometimes that is, people kind of wringing their hands saying, oh, great, this stock that I want it because it's got AI in the name, so of course I want it, is starting to do well. So, we buy it after that. And so far, it's working out so well, but, we got to see, right? Nice little push up here. Want to see it take out this high pretty quickly, and then maybe that 2-day high, which is like $6, which would be pretty wicked of a trade there.
All right, guys, trying to ride this QS, baby. Let's go, QS. You looking good too for a 10 break today. I might try to take a scalp on that. Talked about 970s, keeps being the hold on you. Sorry, I'm all over the place, guys. There's so many trades, but this trade looks great. Daily chart, you can see how it's been holding. Yesterday it was up there to 10, held the 9, pull back today, looking like it wants 10. And daily chart just looks prime.
I do like that.
It's like a SoFi. And what about the big boys? Microsoft pulling back here, giving us the opportunity. If we want to take this pullback, we think the market's going to come back and rip. Well, you have the opportunity set up there for Microsoft. Meta also, Meta looks prime on that 775. Looks like it's holding that really well. I think Meta wants 800 today. What do you guys say?
Dude, it is nonstop, man.
It looks like it wants 800, guys. We'll take a bet for the chat here. This isn't a really big bet or anything to actually talk about bets, but put over there in the chat, guys. Put a 1 if you think Meta makes it to 800 today. Put a 2 if you think, no, it breaks the open, which is 772.50 and goes red. I don't think it goes red. I think Meta's looking great here.
Some of these metal plays, like USAR, is nonstop. This USA rare earth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
just
the meme stock.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Don't you dare talk ill of it, Michael. I'm in this one.
Oh no, it's
wow,
yeah.
I didn't even look at it today. Yo, let's go.
USAR, you're working a swing there. Nice.
Little breakout there in MindMed. I'll take that. Again, I'm irresponsibly along that name.
Which name did you say there?
MindMed.
Oh yeah, let's
More
go.
psychedelics. Just betting for that theme to be waking up at some point. It's been doing great. I'm over double on this one. I'm going for the jugular here. I'm looking for some sort of FDA approval or something like that. This isn't make a few bucks money, right? This is pay off the house money if I'm right on this name. So giving it its space, giving it its time, try not to look at it too much. But of course, I've got it on like every watch list I keep an eye on. So it's like I can't escape it.
Man, you looks really nice. I gotta say, for a swing
Tight
trade.
base, yeah, really tight base there.
You going long.
I think it's good for a swing to 1150.
I love it, man. And the only thing is, I tend to sell it on the rips. So I sold it up when it did that 1050 move last time also. And remember, this is a name that actually swung short from 1050 down into 10s, right? Going for the 9. I love the way it trades, guys.
Oh,
so it's a good trader. It's a good trader. Very liquid, right? 1 cent spread. If you're going to give me a name that's trending 1 cent spread in this area where I can take bigger size, it looks good. That's why I also like QS, right, guys? 1 cent spreads and $9. I'll take that anytime. Now, compared to, let's say, and I'll just go to like a stock today that's probably trading. Ooh, this Rumble actually trading within 1 cent. I wasn't expecting that one. X4. That one's an interesting one too. Those are the only two that's on my penny scanner.
Hey, you called that double top. You should have shorted it.
Well, no, I actually think it might break that one. That
you think
$2.
the one?
Yeah,
one
it's
Rumble?
the thing is, Rumble.
X4.
X4, I think.
X4. I think it could still break it because you look at the 15 minutes. It's just reloading on the 175. So it's on this hourly pattern. I think more than it is on a kind of a intraday pattern. And so you can see how this is trending like this, right? So you kind of broke above this and you holding trend pullbacks. It's still looking good like it wants to. Has the volume to go, more volume than it did on this run. So that's why I wouldn't stand in front of that thing, at least for me. 23 million shares on a chart that looks good daily wise tells me to stay away. If it was low share size, low volume, then I'd be more of a away from it on the short side. But that's why I feel
That
more
makes sense.
to the
Yeah.
upside.
Rumble testing highs. I'm getting interested in a re-short here towards the 200 guys. When these are up like this too, be mindful of the breakouts are often a little, they can get slammed down fairly quick once you're already up quite a bit extended.
Old Rumble. So that's not the Rumble. That's not the
Oh.
video streaming site. That's something else, right?
Yeah, Rumble is RUM. I was just trying to look it up here. I was like, wait, hold on a sec. No, now I see the short though.
What do you go? What do you do? Yeah.
Yeah, looking for the 350, 60, and then we'll get going again. But it may just reject here. I mean, it tested at the high and broke above it. Sometimes they'll sweep and take out
Yeah.
stops there, and then look, they'll then pulling down here to 314, 15.
All right, into the green with DraftKings. Let's go.
Don't know what this is. The robot just picked up DIOD. Diodes Incorporated. Man, that sounds really exciting. But
ADM.
just one of these, right? We're again the basic idea behind this. You got day one strong, day two just a really tight consolidation, then you're breaking out on day three, right? So this is the very sub 50-50 win rate. I think this has like a 40% win rate, but every now and then you have that continuation. So it's kind of like a 30-minute or a 15-minute like bull flag kind of setup. And every now and then you have these things just kind of rocket and go pretty crazy, but it's like a third day play instead of a first or a second day play.
METC pushing well, guys. That's the best looking one on the day trade side for me. Trying to get that one to get towards 25 and then sell it on the rip there. We'll see what happens on that. Got DraftKings QS over $100. Just trying to let that ride out. DraftKings I added to it, so I'm trying to let it rip out right now. If it doesn't, I might let it go and then try to reload on it. But I really do like the DraftKings, especially going into more preseason versus right now is the perfect time for seasonality to play that.
Yeah. Seasonality is great. They also have, I want to say Missouri is legalizing sports betting coming up this year, likely. Yeah, good potential catalyst on deck, and the chart's prime, like the weekly chart, really beautiful. Also,
you know what? Let's take that X4 just to have some fun here. I'm gonna take like 300 shares of that just to have a good time.
Just to have a good time. Mitch, I want to show you a chart that's pretty wild. So DraftKings was an IPO that released around the same time as Coinbase. There's something that I noticed that's really interesting when you compare the two charts. So I am pulling that up right now.
Yeah, so just before you get to that, this is again with our partner TrendSpider. You can do the seasonality right here. So August, 57% of the chance we're up in August. September, October gets really killed. You don't want to own, at least with seasonality, DraftKings in September and October because it's only up 1 in 3 times.
Buy the rumor, sell the news.
Right, that's the right. You short those, and then it starts to pick up. Beginning of the year seems to be the best time for DraftKings, and then September, October, only 1 in 3 chance that it's going to move higher.
Yeah, pretty much risking on the 42.95 right now on DraftKings. So I'm just looking for the breakout above this. So this is the perfect drop them before you rip them, right? I always talk about the squat before you rip, right? Well, my man Elite Swing Trader also talks about those too. I think they're important. The liquidity search. You went up from the top end of the range through the support, the short-term support. Now you can rip it right back and then get it back to 50. It'll be looking prime.
Absolutely. One thing I just wanted to show you, Mitch, that I don't know if there's any relevance to this whatsoever, but what I did notice is that DraftKings, Coinbase, both kind of disrupting pretty big names that are just starting to kind of reclaim key levels from, the initial hype phases around 2001, 2021, 2022. So I'm keeping an eye on DraftKings to basically play catch up to coin here. I know they're not really correlated, but when there's so tightly correlated until a big breakout by coin, my brain just wants the DraftKings to catch up. So I'm thinking maybe there's some catalyst that could cause them to do the catch up move here.
Hey, you
Yeah,
gamble on
quick
sports, you gamble on Fartcoin. It makes sense. Correlation to me.
Yeah, both regulatory dependent industries that are disruptive and could potentially make a lot of money long term. They're willing to spend a lot of money on customer retention and acquisition, and leading the market. So there are some similarities. I don't know. It was interesting to me.
All right, with that little push of DraftKings, I'm willing to drop a stop now towards 42.93s and let it go. Try to let it rip. And
Let her
look,
rip,
we're going
baby.
right by that trend line. So I'm going to look to see what happens on the SPY here, guys. This is the only thing that I'd be a little bit weary of. Look, right there, right? So
Well, I'm
watch
just
out.
warning. I'm reading our boy Walter here, and Trump's in full screaming mode. So be careful. Consumers aren't even paying the tariffs. Tariffs have not caused inflation.
Uh-oh.
Goldman has been wrong on tariffs, so we're getting
Out of METC, guys, on break even.
we're getting a mad dude. So just be careful. Sometimes you get a mad dude, and things don't work out too well. So just keep an eye
He's
out
always
there.
mad, though.
I know. Yeah, I think the market
Extra
just starts
High
to
volatility.
it's you wait for him to get mad enough that he talks about, I don't know, firing
I know
someone
you.
else or something like that. But yeah, it's just some ranting.
You've
going on.
dedicated your one monitor to Donald Trump. His volatility. Yeah.
Rant,
I like
but
what you said, Money Mitch, about the buy the rumor, sell the news. Because I remember back in the day, dude, I would like the good news would hit and I'd buy it and the stock would just sell off all day. And I'd be like, why is this? Well, you got to understand that like the tickers actually, the price gets vexed in like months out in the anticipation.
mhm.
And I didn't quite understand that. I'm
for
like,
sure.
dude, these 3 trials just passed and the ticker is selling off. What's going on? Yeah.
That's my saying is that if I know the news, everyone else has already know the news, and it's priced into the stock.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have any sort of inside beat. Right. If I know what's going on, then everyone else out there, especially the Goldman guys that they're paying $500,000, $2 million a year to know these things, the quant shops, the algo systems, there's a whole team of thousands of people making millions of dollars a year just to anticipate news. So they're buying into it. Then the news comes out and they're just using retail as X liquidity.
Yeah.
All right, here it comes into play, guys. Look at it drawn. Look at it come into play. We're right back to 639.50s. But what happens here? Let's find out. Let's find out, guys. Sometimes you hear it. It's been today. I have a feeling we just go back to the shop. So we're staying within this range right now, guys. So you guys can see how it pulls right off of that, right? So didn't even break it for a cent. Let's see if it starts to actually drive above that. What's going to help? Microsoft.
Oh, X4 money, Mitch.
Apple.
There you go.
Uh-oh. Amazon? Can Amazon catch fire? Then some people liked Google's chart today. I didn't like it, but that was the one name that could also just push. And if these all go, I don't care what the hell the other market, what other stocks do. This is the market. Guys, this is 30, 40% of the market, right? I mean,
Well, and what's wild today, here, just pop over, is you've got the SPY up 0.5%, right? And this is the one that's weighted towards those big cap techs, the ones that, right, move when the names that Mitch just quoted move. Then you have RSP. This is the average large cap company up almost 1%. So this is everything is ripping. We've got IWM up 1.75%. So those are your small guys. We've got mid caps at $2 to $10 billion range up 1.5%. So the more down the cap scale you go, the better returns you're seeing. And we talk about this all the time. There seems to be like this rotation that's continuing to happen. Someday it's a big cap tech day, and they're doing well today. And then today is an everything rally: small caps, mid caps, the average large cap, even the Dow, which has just been the dog lately since the UNH news and everything, that's doing well. So this is a throw a dart, hit something. If it's not up today, you ask yourself a real hard question about why your stock is not up when everything is up, right? I can even, let me just try to grab the advanced decliners for today and I'll come back to you guys, but I bet you it's like 70% of stocks are up today. Well, let's see if we can do.
Adding to that X4, got about 800 shares now.
I'm looking at that
decliners.
RMBL for a short. That's looking like it might be ready.
Oh, I just put that in chat too. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I'm like, I wanted that push towards that 200 high a day. Like, I want them to accumulate more longs on that high a day break and then start short there. Guys in chat, I am in AT&F as well on the short side. I put that in chat when I got involved there. It's more of a speculative trade. I mean, it's working out right now, but she's been up and down like an analogy I may not provide in here. We'll keep it
Yeah, it
PG,
looks
but
pretty heavy on that VWAP. I'm gonna keep an eye on that one too there.
yeah, AT&F. Well, that one it's up quite a bit over the last few days. So I still like it for a fade. It feels like it has just drawn in, accumulated some of those longs. But I'm gonna give that one a little bit more wiggle room up towards probably that 620. That magic 20's hit twice.
Yeah. And when you get those levels hitting multiple times, there's multiple sets of stops over them too, So there is more incentive to clean up the
That's
tape
a
up
good
there,
point.
sweep up there, So that's something I keep an eye on at least.
Yeah, that's a good point. I went over last time. I've stopped out like a. It's like it feels like nearly once a day I'm getting like a high day stop on the short side.
Adding
So I
to
got
X4.
I got to put those more outside that range.
Here you go, my friend. I'll join your side of the game for the green team.
Oh, what's the average you working on? You're on X4?
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
Let's go.
Got 1,000 shares, 187. Let's go.
Nice.
Yes, let me just show this. So this is the advanced decliners chart for the day. So pretty much everything is up today, right? So this is just doing it by quartiles of this is stocks up 0 to 2%. You can see the amount of stocks up 2 to 5% is really huge. And the stocks that are down 0 to 2% is very small. And the stocks that are down over 2% is nearly non-existent. So these are the days that we talk about all the time, that's saying if you have a swing trading portfolio and you're looking at it and there's a couple stocks that are down, well, they are in the huge minority of things that are actually down today. This is a really strong day with this particular chart. So you take a look at that and you say, well, why does my stock suck? And maybe should I kill it, right? Maybe get it out of here.
Yeah, this is you got to be discerning. You got to be willing to take out the losers, and if they're not working right, why do you want them, right?
Well, it's a hard chat to say, listen, every stock in the market went up today, right? It's it's bringing down your emotion and saying, okay, today I'm not a genius. Every stock went up, right? So, but if I'm holding some that didn't, you have to go, okay. Now, there could be a reason. Maybe they're more defensive in nature. Maybe there's some bad news reported and you think it's overblown or whatever. But that hard chat is one you definitely have to have when the market's ripping like this.
Absolutely.
X4 up to 2. Let's go, man.
Oh, nice call.
AT&F on the short side, guys, is
That's
working out. Dude,
Yeah, nice
this
call
is
there
a green
too.
team.
Look at that. Look at that.
How was,
SoFi ad too. SoFi adding right there. 600 shares now, guys, and SoFi taking a shot there for it to recover 23.
What you think?
I'm curious how you guys approach looks like that ATNF when it's weakened to VWAP there, because I always just get hesitant fading into the middle of the range like that.
I get it. I
Any
get it.
tips there?
I'm a little hesitant there too. Okay. Yeah, what I did like with ATNF, I get what you're saying. That's why I was a little hesitant too, and that's why I felt like I need to give it more range because of the volatility is a little less predictable here than some other tickers. But we double topped this. I call it the magic 20-cent area. I mean, I would much rather prefer this at obviously at the high day 620. But what you'll see daily with a lot of these small caps is the 20-cent area does hold up a lot. And the fact that we double, start looking for it. And the guys can tell you in chat too, because they see it every day now. The 20-cent area on so many tickers is an area that holds up. We double top there and then kind of elevator down from 580 to 520. It halted down. So after a halt down and then a spike up, even if that's towards that VWAP like you're talking about, it's usually met with now salivating shorts that are
Right.
looking to get involved with this because they're thinking what? The highest volume on the day we can see on Trade the Pull here is some oftentimes a sign of a trend reversal too right there, where people are buying in anticipation of that break. They don't get it. We elevator down and then we pop up. Now shorts are jumping in on it. Longs are trying to get out, break even, and we just see the continuation on down. So that's why, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at. So if it climbs back up towards the highs, it would be kind of invalidated for me. So I size appropriately for that, and we'll stop, of course, as we get that momentum and the volume increasing back up towards the highs.
Awesome. No, that's a great explanation. So I'm relatively new to the small cap world. I'm mostly a large cap swing trader.
Okay.
That being said, I'm experimenting more and more, and it's so fascinating. It's like a whole new metagame. So I've been in the learning phase for a couple months now, but
Okay.
it's awesome to hear your perspective here. I'm totally seeing what
SPY
you're saying.
is doing what? Struggling on the trend line, guys.
Just works.
Yeah, this
Trend line approaches, guys. Instead of
looking-
trend line breakouts, why not trade trend line approaches, right?
it's very cup and handly, right? We had the sell off
Struggling, man.
early, come right back up to highs. We consolidate at highs. This feels definitely like a little bit of a cup and handle. And I know a guy who just trades these intraday on different because he keeps coming to me and he's saying, "How do I scan for them?" I'm like, "Geez, man, this is so subjective. I have no idea." But that's his whole premise is that, right? So something on the SPY, you would just take a break of this little base that you're seeing right here with a stop below it,
Here, I'll put you up.
and the risk reward you get. Yeah, I can actually just draw. Let me
Gotcha.
take VWAP off, and I'll just draw this whole thing out, right? Because you've got your cup kind of right here, and then you come up to the high, and you just start putting in your handle. And that's the pattern, and you'll see swing traders and long-term investors love this because it means you've had a drawdown that was recovered, and then it gives you nice base to play off of. It's kind of a favorite pattern, and it looks like kind of what we're setting up right now. So the trigger would be pretty simple. You're talking 639.60, and then you put your stop maybe down here at 638.80, and you're risking maybe a point. So maybe you just say, hey, I'm going to take a point risk here, and if you're right, then you get a new all-time or a new high breakout, which may correspond with a new all-time high breakout. Because kind of remember, if you look at the daily chart, we are right there, right? So the high there was 639.85, and the high here is 639.88.
SPY turning around, pulling back.
We technically made no new all-time high today by like 2 cents.
The thing that I would like to say here, a couple of things. First, it's really interesting that you mentioned we did tick that high of the day, and for me, that is a sign that that is technically kind of. I see that as an incentive that the market wants to go higher, and in the same kind of vein, the philosophy behind those cup and handles are like you said, a dip got bought, and now we're consolidating near the top. Price is digesting near the top of this range. We just tested the bottom. The risk reward is pretty good there. What the only word of caution I'd recommend here is just, although it looks like that on the 1 minute, I just my eyes drawn to the daily chart, and we're just basically getting to that cup formation there. So we might have to chop out a handle on the daily time frame here, and that's what I'm kind of just a little bit concerned about in terms of immediate continuation here. But otherwise, squeeze, right?
I kind of think that this will resolve. Like I keep talking about this, it's like 8-9 days without breaking a prior day's low. It's just an insane trend, and I think it's probably going to resolve like it did last time, which was a gap down and then a sell. They're just not going to make it easy enough that you just short a prior day's low. So I'm with you. I think probably not going to be easy. Might actually even happen in the afternoon, but I'm kind of in the bet that we're in kind of grind higher mode. Got to remember they're short. Right
There goes Rumble, by the way.
Yeah.
Till they
Elevator
cover that
down.
short, right? You short that name, Kevin?
SPY climbing.
Earlier, I was looking for another leg up. But yeah, some people, Steph got it. A few people in chat got it. Good work, guys. RMBL. I did like it. I just, like I said, I can't get myself to really short the weakness on these are high risk plays here. So I was looking for the strength to hit it. But
Yeah, I took a really quick momentum short from the 20 handle down to the 3, but it was just too quick to even mention it. Honestly,
Right.
I
Yeah.
figured I would be wrong. I'm a little bit tilted today. I think I'm a little bit out of sorts, but that's the one base hit that I'm gonna put under my belt there. I'm gonna watch that 280 handle though. That's interesting to me. There's a
Yeah.
little bit of a support shelf
You're
there.
gonna fall in love with the elevator downs.
It's addicting. I can already tell.
It very much so. Yes.
All right, guys, got stopped out there in QS on the green for 49 bucks. Pretty much 50 bucks, but with a little slippage down to 49 there. Just wasn't holding on there, and in my eyes, I can't let it go back to the red right here. SPY's pulling back. I can rebuy it if I want back through, let's say 928s, and then try to ride the momentum, but I think it's going to come back below 9 here, and I'd rather just take some cash and move on.
Yeah.
Sometimes in swings you got to be fast to the profits also, and so in this case, especially with the eval, I'm just gonna take that money and run. I can get right back in. I have DraftKings on a $15 risk. It could get stopped out right here. SoFi is looking good on the day trade. That X4 just doesn't want to break $2. There's 30,000 shares that was waiting there on the first time around. We'll see if it goes on the second time around. Have break even on that. Looking for SoFi to keep running, but that's the only one that I have kind of break even, just letting it run. And then QS, we'll see if we get right back in it on the swing side of things. It still looks good on the daily chart, right? But remember, this is just resistance right here. It's not over here in 10s. If it was here at 10, it'd be different. I'd hold on no matter what. But since we're just rejecting resistance, it could be one of those days where we're still going sideways. So can't push too much. The SPY is what matters here. It's what matters, right? Like, I'm just watching this, guys, and I'm watching the big tech names because those could lift us off. Microsoft still strong, Meta still strong. Are we gonna get that 800 on Meta? What did the chat say? I think they were saying ones for sure. We'll see if we get there on Meta.
And I'm just waiting. There's been no rant from the old Trumpo in 18
No
minutes,
rant,
so
more rant. Okay.
that might be now
He
that
has a
he's
bathroom.
done.
We got a bathroom break.
Yeah, he's got to stop tweeting for just a second. I don't know who this
A good old
Schmid guy
bathroom break.
is, but he's talking about
DraftKings I still like,
tariffs and
but I
all
got
that
stopped
kind of
out there,
stuff.
guys. Out for 20 bucks lost there in DraftKings.
Yeah, I just wanted to show the relative strength here in the small caps, right? So if we mark this high, this is the CPI number spike that came out. We're holding that on IWM, where we're kind of struggling below it on the SPY. We're struggling below it on the Qs. And then just look how close you are to that high. So the Qs are the weakest. So large cap tech has been the laggard today. It's not been the place to get involved. If you look at RSP, you kind of barely see it, but we're more above it. But the IWM and the MDY, which is your mid caps doing the best, is just showing that this is one of those days that down the cap scale is really benefiting. The top of the cap scale, the biggest guys out there, yesterday they were the thing. Maybe tomorrow they'll be the thing, but today not so much. It's the little guys that are shining. So that likely means that whatever interpretation the market's giving about CPI is just saying that they expect it to be an interest rate thing, because we talk about this all the time. The small guys, the small cap names, they are the most interest rate sensitive, right? They don't.
Yeah.
Apple doesn't care what rates are. They'll make all kinds of money regardless. But the other one is happening. So BBAI, just to summarize the trades that I've been in, this one's been slowly grinding higher. So I've been happy with this. This DIOD. Again, slowly grinding higher, a little illiquid this one, and then Step hasn't really moved. So that's it for the bot today. Pretty slow day. Three trades. Sometimes I'd have like 40 by this time, and it's because we got to zoom out in the market and just say this is what we're seeing. It's a little spinning top doji type action so far, and we need to get some type of move from that, and just chopping. So, and look at the time, right? We're coming into the time of day where this kind of consolidation, we haven't moved in 20 minutes. So if we haven't moved in 20 minutes, it doesn't really shock us at this time of day that you're not going to move that much.
Yeah, it's just trading on the 15-minute chart. It's where we drew the lines on in the first place, and It's holding on that. So VWAP pullback here is still in place. 638.38 on the SPY. I'll look for a pullback there. I might go back into X4 here. I got out and then willing to go back in it here. So I'm back in it here, guys. Looking for it to start going. So sometimes you got to be able to get out, get back in. The pullback there, right back in it here. Let's see if it can start to really kind of lift off here. So you can see the trend line break, right? So you broke here. Now you're kind of pulling back. You're in this reload area where it keeps running into selling. It's $2. There was 30,000 shares waiting for it last time. Let's see when we get back to $2, what happens then.
I'm keeping an eye on ATNF again too. I'm thinking that it might come back up to the point of control around 590 to 6
I like
and fail there.
I like it.
Obviously, if it breaks high of day, that would invalidate that, especially if it breaks pre-market highs, which are just a little bit over. But I am keeping an eye on there. If we do get some weakness in that area, I think it could provide a good risk-reward trade there.
I'm long.
Short back to VWAP at the very least, with potential for much more there. So keeping an eye on that one. You got me hankering for the elevator, I gotta say.
Oh, well, look at it. Speaking of elevators, look at HBI. I cannot believe I took my eyes off of this morning.
Wait, yeah, I almost took this trade in the morning and I forgot about it.
Coming to you, my friend. Tell us about that one.
Crazy move.
I took that ATNF long just to let you guys know, not to go against you guys, but it just looked really nice there.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, Haynes. Man,
Nice.
I'm probably wearing some right now, but gosh, I want to take them off because of this move.
Skins, bro. I heard it's new ones.
HBI. Ooh,
HBI. Yeah. So, yeah, you see this. Oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. Take these arrows off. I tried it this morning and just took it off because one of the lower wicks like got bought up really quick, and I've been involved in them trapping shorts. That's why I took that off, break even. But yeah, dude, today 1024. I'm not seeing the news on it specifically for that. I don't see like an offering if they came out with an offering, but there's like a rumor. The news that I saw was a rumor that another company was going to be like buying them out or acquiring them, some kind of acquisition deal. And so this was on that anticipation. But yeah, my eyes were peeled on it because it was looking heavy after it put in the move. Speaking of the magic 20 cent area, straight up to 720 and heavy off of that. And then, yeah, dude, just all this volume came in right here. Normally that's an offering. Anybody in chat? Perfect Fall, you had HBI this morning as well, got out because it just going sideways. Yeah, a lot of sideways action on it. But yeah, I don't know if everyone just dumped right there all their shares. Again, I didn't see the offering, but a few elevator downs. And then there's a couple other Magic 20s if we want to, take a look at those for those that aren't quite seeing it yet. ONDS right now, you can tell that one, the 20 cent area, 420, I guess is magical in more ways than one. Is holding up on that. I know MG was watching Givo against 220. There's a couple of them. ATNF, 220, 620. We went over that a couple times too. So just keep an eye on that level. You'll start seeing it.
So
I may sound crazy.
No, it doesn't sound crazy to me because what I think of, I'm a big fib guy, and often when you get a range break, if it's a false breakout, it'll tag the 1.27 extension or something around there, 1.2.
I see.
So that makes a logical sense for me to kind of like sweep the dollar mark. You get over it enough that bulls are entrapped.
Yes.
They're thinking it's going to the next big number up. Meanwhile, shorts are just getting a discount over their big level that they're liking to push down below.
Steph pointed out Givo too, right at 220 being the top there.
Okay.
But it happens a lot. Yeah.
I'm keeping an eye on SPY here. That's not a great candle on the 1 minute chart for immediate momentum. And going into this time of day, I'd like to see a retrace to VWAP, shake out some bulls before we push higher, but let's see if we get it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. A lot of setups there, right? So we'll see if the SPY can hang on here. If we do just get a quick collapse, I'm looking at maybe shorting some Ethereum through 160 or like Ether, ETHU. We'll see what happens with that. Looking around out there, guys. I got out. I took a hit there on that X4, though. I did take a $85 hit on that X4.
Yeah, Ethereum, I'll bring up the real chart because the way I look at that is that we have broken going to like an hourly chart, we broke a huge level of resistance here. So unless we get back below that, right, I'd be worried, right? Again, just wanted to show you this just
DNF starting
because,
to push here.
and I know you're looking at the ETF that would be missing all of this data.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that as a pretty sustained and decent looking breakout. I want to see it in Solana to help with my FAR coin that I added some more of this morning. So far, no good. Right, it's moving up a little bit right now, but it's a simple support play. Again, I like the purity of these meme coins because they're not pretending to be anything, right? And you can just see resistance here, support 1, 2, 3. I remember buying some here because I believe this was the Iran bombing thing that everyone was saying was the end of the world, and I just did a quick check, and every time it happened in the past, it was bullish. So the only thing I could buy was crypto. So I bought a bunch there because it happened over the weekend, and then took a little bit off. And now that we're back in it, I was like, okay, well, I got that cash, right? We're back at that support zone. Maybe we'll give a shot. My entry or my average is still in like the 60s right here, so I'll take that all day. But for that, we need to see Solana start to move, and right now it's been like, if you look at the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, is something I watch as well. This is just Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So if this line goes up, Ethereum is really outperforming Bitcoin. And if the line goes down, Bitcoin's outperforming Ethereum. And the relative strength in Ethereum as of late has been just on fire.
Yeah, it's insane, right? And I mean, for me, you mentioned the break on multiple hourly candles. How about the break on multiple weekly candles? I mean, like for me, I'm looking to buy every dip personally, but
Yeah,
I'm
through this right here, this kind of 420-ish. We made it through that, closed a week, and then looked higher. It at this point, it seems crazy that they wouldn't at least try at all-time highs to see if there's some sort of shorts that are there or something. And then if that happens and holds, then you just have that this ends up being just a massive multi-year base. And everyone, and the reason I like this, the reason I like a lot of things, everybody hated Ethereum for a long time. And then away we go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you've noticed the narrative hasn't really changed
No.
all that much. There's still so much room for people to hate this thing screaming higher. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
And this
Yeah.
BMNR is holding up pretty well. It's up
That's
6.5% today. Put a little bit of a wick earlier, but that got bought up at about the same time the market did. Got bought up pretty well.
Another rejection of that 639.50 spot there. It's just playing with people on that trend line, guys. Be careful. We're all buying right there, looking for the breakout. Let's see if we get a stuff candle. I'm just a little concerned for it, but I'm still buying it. But at the same time, just realize I feel it. A lot of us are buying this long right here. Let's see what happens.
No, that's a great read on it. Like I want to short it. It feels like in poker a cry call where like the numbers tell me that if this hits 1 out of 5 times, it's worth it. But I feel like I'll just get stopped out if I try to short it.
Yeah,
Love the
that's how
poker
it is
analogies.
sometimes.
Yeah, my bot's just sleeping today. Like I've checked it like 3 times to see if I fixed it.
Just took a nap. Decided that it's not worth it for me today.
Give it some coffee.
It's sleeping. And it's funny because this was one of my biggest problems as a trader, was if I didn't see anything, you get bored and you take a trade anyway. That was one of my biggest faults. And then that trade loses, so then you feel the need to take another trade, and then so on, and then you're stopped out for the day. But systematic trading has kind of cured that because I have seen it enough that if there are little trades, it means that the market's doing exactly this, which is nothing all day. We're still kind of inside of our opening range. And if there's a lot of trades, it means it's a very active day. So it does that kind of regulation automatically because I'm always looking for like extension targets. It's like this thing has to move
So
an
many
unusual amount.
because of that. Exactly. I've talked about the digging your, like, you just digging, you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole and you dig yourself deeper, right? I've done that so many times too. But I can see this bot, I mean, really helping out a lot of traders because it's eliminating all of that.
That's the hope, right? Most people, they say, most people, and it's funny, the traders that I've mentored, the traders that I talk to, they're generally not like straight losers. It's that inconsistency, the loop that they're stuck in of making money, giving it back, making money, giving it back. And as soon as I see a trader do that, they say, "Oh, I make a whole bunch of money," and then I give it right back, and then I pass a couple evals, and then I blow them up, and that inconsistency. Two things generally right away I can tell is A, they're not recording their trades. They don't have a rigorous enough journal process. They're just lazy in that respects. And then B, there's something that they have to systematize where they're relying too much off feel. Well, the problem with feel is, right, sometimes you're feeling good. Sometimes your kid's up screaming all night and you're feeling like crap, or you get in a fight with the wife or whatever. And it's like, as humans, we are so inconsistent when it comes to feel. To expect consistent results from the system, which is the human, that is an inconsistent thing, is just, it's so much to ask for. Where as soon as they get systematized, then they're tracking everything, they're recording, they know exactly what's working and what's not, and what to apply more to and what to apply less to, and all that. It changes the game just dramatically for most people.
SPY breaking here, the trend line going for the 640 move. Let's see if it goes for it, guys. I have 500 shares of ATNF at 572s. Looking for it to break 6 here and get a big winner here. Let's go, ATNF.
I'm looking to fade it 593 to 6. So we'll see. We'll see who
Hey, someone got to make money.
Someone's got to win.
I'll
Well,
tell you
the
one
C-
thing.
the
I'm on
yeah.
the tilt side of things.
We're
So
hedged.
let's see what we can do.
Right, the CEOs are saying, "Oh, good. If someone's long and someone's short, then
Yeah.
right, at least
We'll be
the
all right.
company's hedged."
We'll be all right, right?
Yeah, we're
Here it
hedged
is,
here.
guys. 587s. We're looking good here for the break here. Let's see if it goes for it. ATNF. Let's take a look here. Does it break through the trend line and go for it? That's what I saw on the 15-minute chart. This trend line approach for a break right here and then a breakout towards 7. Let's see if I can get that breakout. Oh,
Going to.
605.
I got
Looking
filled, but I'm
good.
scared.
Looking good there, guys.
I got a 610
Looking
stop that
good.
just got hit here.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Take
stop
my
out over
shares.
pre-market highs
Oh,
for sure.
oh.
Probably over a candle close over this.
All right, looking like we're
one
starting to
day.
shoot off here. Now it can go into that push into a halt. Let's see if we can get that push into a halt look. So now I just want to start seeing 90 EMAs hold. I'm at 572, so I'm break even, watching for this to kind of keep going. Do the expansion candle towards 650, something like that. Give me a nice halter. Halter up there could be towards 656. Let's see if it wants to do it.
See what
Trying
that
to get a
magic
halter.
20 is going to do.
Trying to get a halter.
High day there. High day on the SPY.
SPY's pushing strong too. Look at that.
Yeah, it's good timing. I'm going for another ad there on SoFi. Look at that, guys. Stepping up to the plate, 1,000 shares of SoFi. You heard that right. Let's go. Stepping up on SoFi there, guys. SoFi was the first trade of the day. It's looking great there. ATNF looking good also. Let's get this going. Let's get this really popping and rolling.
Let's get me out under 6 first. then we rock and roll for you.
Somebody in chat alerted BTAI for a potential short tomorrow. It's looking good. I mean, it's popping up towards a lot of resistance from the previous close on after hours pre-market. It's getting close to the 20-cent area too. I am liking that one for potential short.
Nice
Put out a little spoofing
here.
order.
40.
Let's put out a little spoof order.
All right. So yeah, so we're back to those highs. So Trump, just be done tweeting just for the day,
Trump,
right?
just
Don't
go
knock us back
away.
down. Just take
Go
a nap.
away. Go golfing. Go golfing.
There you go.
It's
Somewhere
a
without
beautiful
cell
day to
reception
golf.
would be great.
It's a beautiful day to golf today.
I don't know. Oh man, we're not even allowed in the woods where I live. Did I tell you this? We're having such a drought that they
said you're not even allowed to like hike.
You can't go in the woods because they're like if well, you guys, I don't know if you guys remember 2 years ago, I think, when basically my whole province caught fire and it like blotted out the sun in New York. I had people calling me saying, "Listen, my kid can't play baseball because you're on fire up there. Why don't you piss
Why
off.
don't you stop it?
And we are way drier than we are then. So one dude with an ATV that like hits a rock and starts it's great. The leaves are falling off the trees as if it's fall. Like if I go to my yard, it's full of it. We haven't gotten rain in a month and a half, and it's just been scorching heat, and they're not expecting rain for another like 2 weeks. So if you ever see me, like it's so bad, I got a bug out bag in the car for like the kids and stuff in case we got to yeet out of here. It's pretty wild. But they took my woods away from me. What would I do now? I'm like
Woo!
standing on my
there you
yard.
go.
Didn't take that away from me. Let's
All
go.
right, that got my stop.
Nice.
That got my stop. You got me.
All right. Time to sell into you. Thank you.
Take my
I'll take
liquidity.
that. I'll take some cash there off, guys. Took 300 off there into that rip there. It could go into the hole. That's above the 656 kind of level up there. We'll see if we get to that level. Now break even on the rest here. Just going to sit at the 572 with the rest of remaining shares. 200 shares left. Now time to
Nice.
set it and forget it.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Good
the
work.
SPY is pulling back just a little bit here. It broke the high of the RTH, the regular trading, got through that CPI spike just by a tick. And now we're pulling back just a little bit. So like me and Steve were talking about, all-time highs, they never make it easy for you. It's never a clean move. So I expect more of this. And then, maybe we just enter in lunchtime into this chop, into this range, this back and forth action. And then maybe then we get some sort of a move sometime after lunch. Because, we're actually coming down here a little bit, right? It's not hard by any means, but all-time highs. Again, the more people that are watching a level, the messier the level. And there's no easier level for the entire world to watch than an all-time high break. It's like every guy and his dog is watching that.
I like that. The messier it is. Yeah, so true.
If you look at the past, I think every single rally through all-time highs in the past 10 years, they back tested the previous all-time high at least once and usually twice or three times before making the push. So this is what we want to see, I think, for a sustained move up higher instead of like a blow off top type move,
Exactly.
So I'm here for it. A lot of people get frustrated, but I think it's just more opportunities to get long.
Ooh, that ATNF getting going here, guys. I'm looking at potential add through the rip, the 640s. Let's see if it wants to go for it. Here it is. Boom. I'm adding. Boom. Let's go. Ride it. Let's go. Ride it.
You got stops. Woo, look at
Hey,
that.
good stops.
ATNF. Let's go. 650s. It looks like it wants to be a halter. Let's go. Let's get into a halt. Let's start riding the 7. We got a pre-market high. We're chasing after. That's up here, guys. Let's see if we get into that block zone. We
Good
got a
trade there.
we got a runner. ATNF.
Steve, you see BTAI, the magic 20 on that one. I alerted I'm taking a short there. I got it 619 right now. But yeah, another example there.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's take a lift.
Why do you think that is? Like, what do you think? It's got to be a reason if it's.
I
worth so
honestly, I think the big guys are on it. I think the block share guys are on that 20. I also think that because there's so many orders there, that is the liquidity zone, like just over the whole dollar. And sometimes they'll just push to that 20. But yeah, it happens. It happens a lot. I don't know definitively the answer to that, but I just know what I see.
Sell some at
Look at that. Beautiful
686.
move on ATNF.
Yeah, good
Nice
trade
job.
there.
Yeah, man. Not a bad one at all.
I should have pressed the other button.
Grinding, guys. Grinding.
One of those. But we were so close. We pushed the wrong button. Could have happened to anybody.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
Happens
I mean,
to anybody, right?
just making sure, I've said this before, the options should be small losses, small winners, or large winners, but never large losses. You can control those.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Let's go. Come on, get to that 7. Let's get to that 7 so I can sell some out and feel the relief of pressure.
Yeah, this is when it gets stressful with a big winner, but you've locked in profit, so you're doing great. But
A little bit, but it's been a tough day. I'll show you guys everything right now, but it's been a back and forth day for me. Like I've had some good greens, some red. I've been taking shots, right? And so I'm pretty much break even. Just trying to really kind of push it. But I do have some green, right? This would put me to green. So that's why I'm trying to that's why I'm starting to feel more of the pressure, right? Because if I just cash right now, I'm green for the day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the emotions come in play. Like, should I take all or not?
yeah.
Based on the P&L.
And you guys can see I put the swings right back on, and I'm just holding with really tight stops on the swings because I still like them. But sometimes when you like the trade, what happens is I feel like a lot of the times we're looking to kind of get out on any downside and protect yourself, and that's okay. But just got to be willing to get back in and take a little risk, right? So that's why I took the money when QS was here, and then I got back in at the bottom of the chart, right? I'll risk below this to 9 and see if it goes, right? Small risk versus just losing out on the gain.
Right.
Apple, nice little breakout here.
Apple, of course, if the big boys want to go, today's the day to take them. Meta looks still prime for 800. We'll see if it gets there. Apple is going to lead the party, man. I think we talked about it when that this could get to 250 in a hurry. Talked about this line, how hard of a line this 200 is. You know what that shows me? Institutional style buying, where the institutions were like, what the hell are they scared about in Apple? Like, what is wrong with these people out there and their narrative? Well, there it is. There it is. And I'm sure no one knew about this, right? No one knew that Apple was going to get the door around things, right? I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. They got billions of
And
dollars to figure it
then
out.
the best part, Trump talking about insider trading about Nancy Pelosi when they're literally doing inside trading on Apple. Like, come on, man. You act like you didn't tell anybody about that deal.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. The
Well,
SEC does not do their job one bit, man.
all they had to do is, say, hey, yeah, we're bringing them a golden plaque. And if I knew that the day in advance, I'd be mortgaging my house to buy Apple.
It's all they needed to do is tell me that Tim Cook was coming. You act like no one else knew that in the White House.
James, that's probably a question. I think for Steve, you did a webinar on the MACD recently. He's
All right,
asking how
guys.
much.
Right
how
here,
much
it's
weight is
gonna
put into
maybe
that.
do one more undercut below towards the 9 EMA. So this is where you got to like start honing in on this AT and F because it could really pull back really quickly here. So this is the spot right here. The 9 EMA attempts for pullbacks are always attempts that a lot of times it washes out the buyers. Let's see if they can get it back through. The key here sometimes is not putting your stop out. I think a lot of traders just put their stop right there at like 654 or 651. Trust me,
That ticker you got.
guaranteed you're gonna get clicked. One of the like you show it, it's like literally telling the market maker, okay, yeah, go grab that, go grab that. The algo will even separate if it needs to. It'll go like 3 or 4 and come and grab you. So that's why I'm just watching for it to kind of lift and hold the 9 EMA. Whenever we get momentum breakouts above a trend line, I look for short-term moving averages to hold. It can wick there, but it can't close below this level. Look at SoFi. SoFi's pushing, guys. This is one that I'm just trying to stay calm about. Calm and patient. This is a nice breakout on the daily if it can keep going. I'm just letting it just continue to work, continue to work, continue to work. The SPY needs to continue to work so that we can get XLF breakout again. Look at the financial rotation that's going on right now, guys. So there's a rotation that's happening right now, and it's also in finance and communication services. I talked about T-Mobile, man. Everyone wanted to hate on me because I was bringing up the T-Mobile chart. But look at this chart. Forget the name. Just look at the chart. Is that pretty, guys? My CMT. Is this pretty?
Oh yeah.
It's looking all right, right? It's yeah.
It's not the
I think I would do
sexiest
better if I
name.
didn't know the names of most charts.
Yeah, that's like I told you. Hide the name, right? Put your hand on that T-Mobile. If you just look at the chart, a stock that's trading 250 that has all that bottoming, looks kind of like Apple, right? All that bottoming and then coming out of that base. Verizon's another one that had a beautiful chart. I'm looking to see if this can follow T-Mobile. We'll see what happens on that one. Walmart's been strong as of late, guys. Costco, I talked about, would it want 1,000? I'm keeping an eye on that 1,000. It's been riding up there. So it's not just the one area, and that's what's important. Today, there's not a single thing in the red except real estate, maybe from the open, but it's the smallest amount. So really strong day here, all around. Basic materials doing well. I'm sure that METC even turning back to the upside. There it is.
It is. It's doing
Yeah,
great.
it stopped me out right at that on that pullback and then kept going. But it looks good, man. It looks good for sure.
So what do we
that's why I
have
stick to the
for
swings on
our?
these ones. Just keep the stops wide at low days, stuff like that. Let it work itself out, because otherwise that would have got me too, for sure.
Yeah, let's
All
go
right.
through a little final word here.
Yeah, let's
So
do it. Let's do
I'm
it.
just
Coming to you, my friend.
I'm just looking
Oh.
at the all-time highs, right? So congratulations for all that celebrate. We're at new all-time highs in the markets, and I'm just gonna stay long as the big guys out there stay short. But 8 days without breaking a prior low, we're due. We're gonna have a pullback at some point, but just hold on as long as we can here.
Pretty wild day, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. 4 traders coming at you live, fast, and action-packed. Let us know how you guys enjoyed the 4 trader look today. Hit the comments down below to let us know. And don't forget, of course, you see it right at the top, the Trading Bot event description down below, guys. Hit
Getting
that
ready.
link. If you guys haven't done so already, I want to make sure that you guys hit that link. Load up, guys. So definitely, if you haven't gotten already, guys, to that link, I want to throw it up here in the chat before we clean it up and get out of here, guys. So you guys want to hop, go ahead and do so. But I want to make sure that you guys are signed up, guys. Monday, it's going to come faster than you know it. So before you know it, guys, we'll be in the bot trading event, and I don't want you guys to miss it here. So here's the link right in the chat. Just click that link and get over before we head out. See you next time right here on Trade the Pool.